The year was 1950, a time when a young man named Bill Rosenberg started to build what would become one of the most recognized American brands in history. When he opened the first Dunkin Donuts in Quincy, Massachusetts more than 50 years ago, Rosenberg might not have imagined that a simple pairing of donuts and coffee could have the potential to become such an American staple as it has over the years. Now, more than half a century later, Dunkin Donuts leads the retail market in coffee, bagels, and donut sales. With roughly $3 billion in sales expected this year, chances are you are one of the millions who have tried a cup of Dunkin Donuts coffee or have indulged in one of their 52 varieties of donuts.
I think the notion that Bill Rosenberg had, which has perpetuated itself through many decades, is really about providing great products to consumers with a great customer service experience, and always having the brand be affordable and accessible and have a value proposition, but always focused on quality.
That philosophy, paired with a fun attitude, has carried the coffee and baked goods giant to the top of its category.
We like to have fun. We like to present ourselves as a common company that, we're just like you are. We work every day, we play every day, we like quality products, we like consistency in our products. So by looking at that philosophy and that internal philosophy, that helps us put forth the right products to the consumer.
Bob Pitts has been with the company for nearly 40 years. During that time, he's created hundreds of donut varieties.
What we really feel very strongly about is that we like to listen to our consumer and let them tell us where we should be, what we should be doing, what products we should be offering, what flavors they want. So we do an awful lot of taste testing, we do an awful lot of research. So we really, when we roll out a new product, we feel very good about it. We feel very confident about it.
They also feel good about their standards. Dunkin Donuts has a unique process of making donuts. They own all of the formulas, and they also have put into place extensive training programs to maintain the same great quality donuts through the years. Their first television commercial aired in 1978 and offered consumers a taste of what would become the company's philosophy, offering consumers fresh products and not taking themselves too seriously.
I think the notion of being accessible is really important to us. We're not pretentious, we're kind of the everyday brand, if you will. And I always like to say to people, when you go to the parking lots of our restaurants, you can see Mercedes-Benz parked next to pickup trucks, parked next to SUVs.
The idea of appealing to everyone was reinforced with the introduction of Fred the Baker in the late 70s and 80s.
Time to make the donut. 5 kinds. Of course.
He was the symbol of the commitment to freshness, getting up early in the morning, it's time to make the donuts. And I think there was a bond with our consumer because there was a certain notion of work ethic and just being a real person.
A real person that helped to build a personality around the brand. But that powerful advertising campaign was only part of the reason for Dunkin Donuts' success. At the end of the day, it was the company's products, the coffee and donuts, that kept the brand steaming ahead. By 1979, there were 1,000 shops in America, with sales approaching $300 million. And the company had expanded overseas to Japan. In 1985, nearly 1,500 shops were open for business. In 2003, the company is expected to do about $3 billion in sales in the U.S. Globally, they have over 5,000 restaurants around the world. There was good reason for that expansion. Consumers just couldn't get enough of Dunkin Donuts.
We find that our stores can be penetrated into a market and put very closely together because coffee and beverages are very much a convenience-driven purchase.
Convenient locations and quality products. Dunkin Donuts created high standards for its franchise owners early on, instituting the rule of never leaving a pot of coffee on the burner for more than 18 minutes. But what can possibly happen to a cup of coffee after that time?
Our standards are the tightest standards in the industry. I don't know of any other company that actually throws their coffee away after 18 minutes because we are so committed to coffee quality and coffee consistency that becomes a major selling point to our consumers.
If you take a trip to Dunkin's Coffee Excellence Lab, you'll find out that it can make all the difference. Spencer Turr is a coffee technologist at Dunkin Donuts' Product Development Lab in Braintree, Massachusetts. On a good day, he taste tests nearly 250 cups of coffee before lunch.
I do flavor evaluations, sensory testing for flavor and aroma, which is cup testing the coffee to make sure it tastes the way that it's supposed to make sure the coffee is free of any defects, anything that would adversely harm the flavor of the coffee. And we also do classification testing, which is looking at the green beans, the unroasted coffee, and counting and evaluating all the visible defects to determine whether those defects will affect the flavor of the coffee, the aroma of the coffee, the shelf life of the coffee.
The team at Dunkin Donuts tests and evaluates the coffee throughout the entire supply chain, working with everyone from the coffee importers to the roasters to the individual franchise owners, making sure that all 2.5 million cups of coffee that are consumed every day taste the same wherever coffee is sold.
I think that proves that our recipe is the right recipe, that our delivery system is the right delivery system, that we're providing consistent products to the consumer, and every day they resound back and say, yes, give us more. We love the coffee. Don't change it, but we want more coffee.
So Dunkin Donuts gave consumers what they asked for. They introduced Dunkin Decaf, the Culotta, and flavored coffees like hazelnut and French vanilla, which also took off. In 2001, Dunkin Donuts reintroduced its logo with a reference to coffee. Now the company is once again expanding its product offerings, introducing indulgent coffees like cappuccinos, lattes, and espressos.
I think we believe that there's a huge market opportunity for us to bring high quality specialty drinks to a broader consumer audience with a more favorable value proposition. We think it's just a very, very significant opportunity.
A significant opportunity that is part of a new push to get consumers revved up about coffee.
And we went into test in several different markets around the country to determine if what we were doing was acceptable by the consumers. And the consumers came back screaming loud and clear, yes, yes, yes. We want the espressos, we want the lattes and the cappuccinos, we want you to make them in the Dunkin' fashion, we want them fast, and we want them delicious.
So how much of an effect has companies like Starbucks had on Dunkin's business?
I think what they've done has helped the coffee category, and I think there's been a tremendous migration from the old world of Folgers and Maxwell House, coffee in a can made at home, to the new world, which is great quality being available in restaurant environments. And I think the Dunkin Donuts brand has really benefited from that awareness of coffee.
That awareness has catapulted Dunkin's sales of coffee, which has more than doubled over the past 6 to 7 years. But how do you maintain that appeal to everyone when you introduce fancy boutique products? What's next? Couches and mood lighting? Not here.
We're not going to be serving complicated language, in our stores. It's going to be very straightforward. I'd like a small, regular, or large. We're not going to be introducing a whole new vocabulary to our wait staff. We are really going to be focused on keeping it simple.
Thirsty for a cold drink?
Aside from new product offerings, Dunkin Donuts has formed strategic partnerships to offer their products in stores like Home Depot and Stop & Shop supermarkets.
From a retail perspective, the partnership with Stop & Shop enables customers to enjoy the Dunkin Donuts products, coffee and donuts and muffins and scones and croissants, where they're buying their food. And it also enables us to sell our retail packaging of coffee, where they're regularly doing their shopping.
They've also worked with their sister company, Baskin-Robbins, to create Dunkin' Coffee Ice Cream, and they've come up with store value cards. Internally, Dunkin Donuts has created what they call their Fast Forward team, which will focus on bringing all of these new platforms to the marketplace.
You've been awfully quiet, Bob.
Today, if you watch some of the current television commercials, you'll still see that clever, tongue-in-cheek style that Dunkin has been famous for, always bringing it back to the everyday person and not taking yourself too seriously. Founder Bill Rosenberg, who passed away in 2002, lived to see his dream come to life and then some.
I think he'd be extremely proud. I think having known Bill very well, I think he would be very proud that his legacy has continued. His spirit of commitment to the consumer, his passion for quality, his passion for excellence, his passion for the franchisee community has been carried on, and in fact, I think is getting stronger.